I'm right in the middle of packing for our island tour, and there's an awful lot to remember when you're packing for a tour. So we do tend to use checklists for that reason. 2 weeks ago, I was asked if I'd like to try an app, and the app is from a couple called Nikki and Bob, who've done this app, and I'll show you in a minute. But it's got lots of checklists on it, and it's actually been quite useful. So whilst we're on this tour, I'm going to be using the app, and I'm going to let you know how we got on with it. First of all, I'll have a quick look at it, and then you can see how we could use it. So here's the app. It's downloadable from Google Play for Android. That's where I've got it. So they sent me the link and I've installed it. And I've been having a little play around with it. And I'll just give you a quick overview of it and show you the things we probably will be using on it. So it's like 3 areas really. If I go at the top here and we sign in, and it's got security on here. So I can use my password and my fingerprint to get in there. It's £9.99 for a lifetime license, so there's no other subscription required. So we've signed in, and there's like 3 areas really. There's maintenance, touring and ownership. And under maintenance you've got general tasks, annual tasks and winter tasks. Touring, we've got an expense tracker. Not sure we'll be using that, to be honest, but because we keep everything on, or Jenny keeps a record of everything. Mileage tracker, you've got pre-departure, so making sure all the windows are closed and that sort of thing. Arrival and setup, and items to take on a trip. And under ownership, you've got vehicle accessories, beginner's tips, buying guide. So there's quite a lot in this app. So over the course of this tour, I'm going to be letting you know how I get on with that. But the things I have been using so far, if I just scroll down to it, is the essential trip items. So this just gives you an idea of some of the checklists there are on here. So if I look at the view tasks, we've got a list, and some of these I've already completed. So things like making sure you've got the V5 with you, the travel insurance, MOT obviously doesn't apply to us at the moment. That you've got all your documents, that you've got fluorescent jackets. There's a great long list, and I have added a few other things. You can see it goes quite substantial. I've added a few other things in there, particularly, you know, if you're going abroad, like UK sticker, like proof of ownership, maps and books, passports in date, global health cards, paying outstanding balances, and making sure the tunnel's booked and all those sort of things. So it is really a case of ticking the lists on here. But the great thing about it is that you can add your own tasks on there. So you just basically go in there. I'm going to try and invent one now, but I don't know, toll booking or something. You just put something in there, put a space in there, and you just add the task, and it adds the task to the bottom of the list. And when you've done it, you can tick it. You've got to be careful not to hit the bin, because that deletes it. But yeah, and there's, like I say, there's lots and lots of checklists on here. You've got one for general maintenance, all those sort of things, really useful. You've got annual maintenance, so I could actually tick some of those. I did clean the roof. I have put silicone spray on the windows and catches. Have done the toilet. The gas has been checked. I don't have puncture repair equipment, so I could delete that. I do have a spare tyre, in fact. Vehicle service is up to date, had it serviced. The tax and MOT are up to date, and I've had a habitation which will check the battery and habitation battery, the vehicle and habitation battery health. So all of that has been done. So you can see that there's quite a lot of useful information in there. It's the thing for winter maintenance here, and that's probably important, obviously, in the middle of winter, draining your fresh tank. Anyway, I'm probably going to end up going through the whole list, but you get the sort of idea here. And I'm going to let you know how I get on with it. I'll catch you a little bit later in this video. So I've been using the Motorhome RV Campervan Manager app to give it its full title whilst we've been away on our trip to Ireland and more recently over Easter, and I thought I'd give you my sort of thoughts on it and what I think of it and whether you should download it. So let's just log in. One thing you can do is you name your motorhome there, so named it Connie, which is its name, and there are various things. I think we've covered a lot of these. A lot of it is tick lists and checking that you've done various things, which is really useful. I mean, I'm a great fan of tick lists. You've got, for instance, you've got the annual checklist, and I think I covered this earlier, but if you want to make sure that you look after your motorhome, then there's lots of good things on there. There's a couple of things I'm not sure I would use, and there's a good reason for this. Particularly this one is the tracker. Now it's great because you can set a budget, which if you know how much you want to spend is good, and you can keep an eye on how much you're spending, and you can record all your expenses on your trip, and at the end of it you can download it as a CSV and it will create a CSV spreadsheet. So all the sort of things, eating out, fuel, buying t-shirts, going to Tesco's, all that sort of thing, you can keep an eye on. Now what we tend to do is Jenny records it all in her app, and she reconciles it with the credit card statements and so on. So she's been doing, this really for years. But if you're not doing that, it's a fantastic way really of getting started into looking after your finances. If you're one of those people who don't know where all the money's gone, it's in here. And like I say, you've got a budget in there. You can set a budget, you can choose a currency, you can say what it's for, and you can enter the amount, and it's very easy to use. You've got things like, I think I've already said, you've got general maintenance, annual maintenance, winter maintenance, so sort of things you should be doing with your motorhome to make sure you look after it. You've got a mileage overview, and I just really want to quickly touch on this. If you look at the tracker here, I've recorded the 2 journeys that we've done on here, the one to Ireland and the one to Ashwell and to Poulsbrook, where we went for Easter, and you can download the mileage on there, so that's quite handy. One thing I would like to see on here is you can put the miles in there, so you can say how many miles, enter the odometer reading. I'm going to just put something in that I plucked out of the blue here, where it's from, I don't know, home to 25, and you can add the trip. Now the thing about that is it's nice to be able to record the odometer reading, but I would like to see on here the miles per gallon, because when I get back from a trip I enter the mileage on there and then I put in the miles per gallon because it's on the screen on the motorhome. So yeah, just a little bit of feedback. I'd like to do that, and then you just add the trip. But it's good. I won't put that one in there, but it is a good way of keeping an eye on what sort of mileage you're doing, because it'll keep a record of it. So yeah, good feature. The pre-departure one is probably the one I've used the most, because it's making sure you don't drive off with the windows open or the fridge open or the drawers open, which we're often doing. So really you can set up your own sort of checklist in here as well, and it stops you doing the silly things. I remember one of the first times we had a motor and we drove off with the sunroof wide open at the top. So you don't want to do that. And you've got one for arrivals as well. So when you get to a campsite, making sure you know where the pet walking area is, what time you've got to vacate your pitch, and various things like that. And again, you can edit this to suit yourself. I mean, I've changed a few of these things because there are things we don't use on here, but it is a useful starter. Which brings me perhaps to another thing I'd like to see, is possibly a way of either storing the list that you've created by changing things, or reinstalling the original list, the original provided checklist. I know you could probably uninstall and reinstall the app. That'd be a one way of doing it. And you've got also on here, if you're new to motorhomes, I think this is great because you've got a checklist really for I've seen only recently someone was asking, what should I look for on a vehicle handover? Well, it's all here. Read the vehicle manual, test all systems for faults, research what payload means, keep within your payload, practice manoeuvring. Loads of good stuff in there, and you can add your own there. Do you know how to fill up with fresh water? I mean, it sounds daft, but some people drive away and it's been known that people fill up the diesel tank with water and stupid things like that. Yeah, no, it's brilliant. I think I've waffled on long enough. I think there's some improvements that could be made on it, just things that could be added, but I think this is really good value for 10 quid. And if you are fairly new to motorhomes, I think it's probably invaluable. So thanks for letting me review this. I think it is a really good thing. It's something I wish we could have done ourselves a long time ago, but we sort of got out of the programming habit. So thanks for that. And I hope you found this interesting, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this. I mean, it's very difficult for me to keep to show you all of it. There is so much in it. But what do you think? Is there anything else you'd like to see on there? And we'll catch you in the next one. See you soon.